Hey friends, welcome to this nap time session for when you're feeling irritable and maybe angry and a little bit full of rage about all the people needing all the things from you. So all of my nap time sessions are designed for mums like you. They're short, usually around 20-minute sessions, and they're always created for the postpartum body or around those common themes that we struggle with as mums. So if you enjoy this session today, I would love to invite you to my online yoga circle where you'll find all the other nap time sessions as well as a beautiful community of other mums just like you. So right at the start of this practice, I want to let you know that today's session is going to be super gentle. So when we're feeling irritable and angry and overwhelmed and maybe we feel that rage bubbling inside, it's our nervous system telling us we are overloaded, that we've got too much sensory input. Our body is reacting with a stress response. It believes there's a danger close by. And what we need to do is tell our nervous system that it's okay, you're safe, so that we can respond from a more regulated place. I do want to let you know though that sometimes when we're in that stress response, what our body actually needs first before we settle into these calmer, quieter practices is to release some of that energy. So if you're finding today in this practice it's really uncomfortable, like it's physically painful to be still and focus on the breath and experience the body sensations that we're going to focus on today, then I want to encourage you to first go and do something a little bit more active. Sometimes what our nervous system actually needs first is to release that flight or fight energy. So you might need to do a really strong yoga class to build some heat, to release that feeling of needing to fight or flee in the body. Or you might want to jump around, you might want to go for a walk or a run, you might want to do some dancing, anything to kind of get that energy out first. And then you can encourage the body to come back into this calm state using the breath, and that's where we're focused on today. So let's get on our mat, let's get started. The only prop you'll need today is a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, a few pillows or cushions stacked up will work perfectly. Let's get going. So we're going to start in a child's pose using the bolster as pressure on the belly and on the chest. This feels really calming on our nervous system. Just like when we're held as a child, this is soothing to our body. That little bit of pressure in this part of the body is really helping to calm our body and tell that vagus nerve it's okay, we can come down from the stress. If you're pregnant, we don't want to put pressure on the belly, so you could just push the bolster forward slightly. But if you're not pregnant, feel free to just drape yourself over the bolster here. And I want you to really soften into it. So see where you can relax a little bit more. So maybe give the shoulders and arms a little bit of a wriggle and a roll. Let them be super heavy. You want as much of your body pressing on the bolster as possible. Taking a full deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out. So we're breathing in and out through the nose. At this point in our practice, I just want you to breathe in your own natural rhythm. So however you breathe normally without thinking about it too much. I want you to allow your hips to get really heavy. So if you need to, you can shuffle them a little wider so that you can really sink into that bolster today. Let the head become heavy, the shoulders, the chest, everything pressing down into the bolster, letting it all go. I think it's really important to recognize that when we're feeling irritable and angry, as mothers, we can't help our kids come down from their stress states, from their meltdowns or tantrums until we support ourselves first. Keep breathing. In through the nose and out through the nose. I want you to see if you can deepen the breath a little.
just the most gentle invitation to breathe a little deeper. It doesn't need to be a big dramatic breath. Just maybe 1 second longer than you were breathing before. I also want to invite you to notice any sensations in your body. So these might be physical sensations, tension, feelings of nausea, maybe tingling, maybe the feeling of stretching in this position, temperature. Simply noticing that anything that's going on in the body today. To notice if there's anything going on in the emotional body. So I would imagine if you've come to this class, those feelings of being irritated or of anger are present. And I just want you to sit with them and allow yourself to experience them in the body. Noticing what physical sensations are being created by those emotions. Is it a sensation of the skin crawling, feeling uncomfortable in your body? And to keep breathing that nice, long, gentle, deep breath. Allowing yourself to experience anything in the emotional or physical body that needs to come up, that needs your attention. Slowly bring yourself up from the bolster. And you can either come to have a kneel, or if you'd prefer, you can sit. And if it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, sometimes sitting up on the bolster can feel more comfortable. And we're just going to roll the body around. So again, when we're helping children to regulate, we often use motion. We often use swaying and rocking, both for small babies, but also older children as well. You might encourage them to use movement to help them regulate, and we can do exactly the same with our own bodies. So just following the breath, following the body as you roll around. And I want this to feel good for you. So if a really big circle doesn't feel good, maybe just a gentle sway from side to side would feel better. So find what works for you. And then we're just going to stay here. You'll notice I'm using Ujjayi breath, so I'm just gently constricting the throat on the exhale to make a little bit of a sound. And I find that anchor of being able to focus my mind on that sound helps to keep me here. But if you prefer that really just long, gentle breath, then that's perfectly fine too. I'm just going to stay here just as we did before, noticing any physical sensations and also allowing any emotional sensations to be present as well. Doing our best not to get caught up in thoughts or story about them, simply noticing present and aware to them. If you're taking circles, we're reversing the circles now. If you're rocking side to side, just reverse the direction in which you started. Staying present to the breath, keeping it nice and long and deep and gentle. Really trying to embody that sense of being gentle with yourself. Again, we often try and do this with our children, being really gentle and kind when they have big emotional explosions, and yet with ourselves we're not so gentle. We beat ourselves up. We go to bed feeling like we failed because we got angry again, instead of addressing what's really going on. Your nervous system is perceiving stress, and it's trying to keep you safe with this feeling. And what we need to work on is bringing our bodies back down and then adjusting how we perceive that stress. How we can respond when we start to feel those stressful sensations in the body rising. Doesn't mean we necessarily shut them down. It's just we find tools to be able to work through them, to stay with them, to be present and aware of them. Slowly come back to center and just find some stillness here in the seated position. Imagine moving the breath from the base chakra all the way to the crown, and then exhaling it back down again as if you're breathing the length of the body. Good, and then our final little practice today, we're going to use the bee breath to focus on sensations in the body through using breath and vibration. So I want you to bring 2 fingers and gently press in the ears. Keep nice and long through the spine. Take a big breath in. And then we're simply going to hum. I just want you to breathe out and hum for the entire length of your exhalation. And as you do this, I just want you to notice again sensations in the body, any emotions that come up. Just give your body your attention. Breathing in, gently pressing in the ears and humming out. few more deep breaths. Noticing now in the stillness and quiet what remains. Gently release, coming on back. So that last one, you may have noticed sometimes children, when they're getting in trouble, will do that. And whilst yes, it looks like they're just trying to close you out, it's a stress response to help them protect. Sometimes they also make noise whilst they're doing that. They start talking and they're tuning into the sensations that are going on in their body. So sometimes when you're seeing your child respond to something, just notice the tools that they naturally reach towards, because often our kids are quite good at naturally reaching for tools that help them to calm their nervous system when they're stressed. But that to us looks like a rude response. It looks like they're trying to tune you out. But it can actually be a tool to help them to calm, but maybe they just need to be taught how to do it in a way that isn't something that is seen as disrespectful, as not listening. And also making sure that we're doing what we need to keep our own nervous systems regulated so that we can support them in those moments and can be curious about how they're responding, and to help them to also develop a way to respond when they're stressed, so they don't end up maybe like you, but also like me, an adult who's had to learn it whilst parenting. Maybe they can learn to process that stress day to day, to not hold on to it and carry it into adulthood, and then be triggered by their kids and in those stressful moments because they haven't dealt with that stored stress. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you found this particular nap time session helpful, I am working on a new series at the moment around helping mums to really regulate their own system. It's nothing new to my work. My work has always been about coming down from stress so that we can enjoy motherhood. But I am going to be really addressing the nervous system, teaching you more about how your nervous system works, because I think while we have to process it in the body, it can be really helpful to understand why we're doing it, why our kids are doing certain things, and we'll also be really addressing those critical moments as mums that are really challenging. Bedtime, transitioning to school, transitioning home from school, perhaps dinner times at your place, and any sort of tantrum or emotional reaction that's coming up for our kids is usually a stress response. So we're going to talk about that in this new program. You'll find it all in my online yoga circle. So I'd like to invite you over there now. Join the community, join in all of the practices, and as always, join the conversation. If there's something you want to see here on my channel or in the online yoga circle, please put it in the comments below. Join us in the Facebook group, let me know over there. I really want to make classes and practices and tools that are helpful for you, and the best way that you can help me to do that is by letting me know what it is that you're struggling with the most and what you would like to see more of here on the channel. Thank you again for being here. It is always an honor to share these practices with you. You've got this.